This is the first of, I believe, three, maybe four, probably three, NBA decade drafts, in which your friends here at KFS will be drafting players from an entire decade in the NBA's history. And then at the end, we compare teams and see who has the best. Before I get into the nitty gritty of the rules, although I may turn to Andrew for that, as I've written in the past and said in the past, I love nothing more than just wasting time on Basketball Reference on just the most inane nonsense. And I'm sure some of our listeners out there join me in that. Chris Persianen is raising his hand. So this was right up my alley. That's all I wanted to say.
Don't tell my professor, but I spent more time than I would like to admit in one of my courses today on Evan Fournier's Basketball Reference page, and I was very happy with what I was seeing. It's a place I've been before. And,
hopefully not for this draft.
First pick.
48 gets drafted. We're not going 100 picks deep. This is 30 picks. Andrew, you want to lay out the rules?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much laid it out. We're going to do a similar to the draft that we did for the NBA draft, where we did
the Knicks draft,
right? So like an all Knicks draft is what
same
we
thing.
did. So it's the same thing. We will have 10 different positions. So it's center, 2 forwards, 2 guards. You fill out your starting lineup, then you get 5 bench, with the idea being the same thing. A backup center, backup 2 forwards, backup 2 guards. We'll be going in snake order, which we will decide in just a second. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. And this is the whole point of this, is hopefully to land on a top 30 of the past decade in the league.
And so the couple key things. One, it's from 2010 to 2019. So you can that last season doesn't count for anybody who's upset that Julius Randle might not get drafted. And the previous year, which was the 2019-20 season, you could kind of consider the beginning of that, just like you could consider, I think, as we discussed, the 2010 NBA championship, for instance, won by the late Kobe Bryant. Here's the key, though, and this is maybe we're the only ones who care about this, but I certainly do, so I'm going to say it. You have to consider the fact that length of time in the league and length of time at the top of your game matters. So, I'll just throw a name out there. Giannis Antetokounmpo has won a couple MVPs. He's made all NBA first team a few times. He was only in the league for half of this decade that we're going to be talking about. And he's just one example. There are obviously other guys that have come into the league throughout the decade that don't have the longest track record. So as you are assessing our draft and reaching the ultimate conclusion that I won, give me a break. Just please keep in mind that caveat in terms of how this should be judged.
Can I pose an inquiry?
Yeah, go ahead.
I suppose.
Thank you.
Okay, I defer to John on this. Never mind.
Well, he's supposed, so
you may inquire. That's actually, I think, what the lawyer.
What would you know about that? All right. Listen, is it in terms of who, for who wins, and quiet, John, is it like whose 5 would beat the other 5s, or is it like
it's 10? The whole roster has to be considered.
That's right. We're doing
the
10.
whole roster has to be considered. I think we should probably put it out to a Twitter poll, right, Andrew? You're on mute, Andrew.
It wouldn't be a Twitter poll. We're going to do it a Patreon.
We'll do the Patreon poll.
So for those of you listening, you will get to vote
for me, and I will.
No, but see, that's the thing.
Give you virtual kudos.
Chris, you're muted. You're not literally muted. I just
now you want me to mute him? Is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. We should have a buzzer. Mute Chris.
Yeah.
No, but see, that's the thing. It's not whose team would beat the other team, because if you've drafted a player that, again, like Giannis, who's like at his peak is one of the best players of the last, in NBA history, he may be better than someone on another team, but you have to consider the track record. So really, we're asking a lot of our listeners. You really have to take the the NBA history here into, or recent history, into consideration. And as we go through the episode, I'm sure some of us will make our cases for certain players.
I think it'll be obvious when people see it. It's quite literally what we do every year when we're projecting who's going to win what. You're looking at teams on paper and trying to see this team is clearly better on paper than that team. We will put 3 teams on paper and you will rank them 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
That is how the purpose of this exercise.
I'm not sure if I want the first pick, but Andrew, I think it's time to see who's picking where.
Well, so what I have in my hands, for those who are listening and not watching, is a deck of cards. What I will do is do a quick shuffle, and I will hold the cards in front of me, and we'll do Chris first. Chris, I will assign you a card. All right, you ready?
Alleged shuffle.
Alleged shuffle. Hold on. Now I'm gonna hold my mic up. Now I'm gonna hold my mic up to it. Hold on. You heard that. I know you fucking heard that. That's right. That's a professional shuffle right there.
That was a pretty good shuffle.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Chris, you ready?
I might be.
All right. Your card is
very dramatic.
The
2.
Oh, no, 2. So we're doing the high card. So Chris is a 2 of spades.
Chris, if you've never played cards before, 2 is the lowest. There is no 1.
Chris, do you play cards? Like poker? Anything?
Yeah, sometimes.
Hold on.
Not really often at all.
All right.
Sometimes my friends and I play poker, but like that's like pretty infrequent.
Okay.
I'd say.
John,
overall.
your card is
Come on, baby.
the
Come on.
Jack.
All right, I'll take it.
Jack of clubs. And
Take
then
any
my
face
card. Come on. Ace.
Andrew's getting a 4. Wrap it
It's
up.
funny because I actually think there's an argument for not wanting the first pick, but
Oh, you said you didn't want it, which is why you're
If-
getting it.
So full disclosure, we're recording this on Tuesday, and I have my fantasy draft tonight, and I have the 2 pick, and I hate it.
You don't like it. That's just
No,
Kamara.
I'd rather have a later draft pick.
What
That way
scoring
I'm
system
closer.
are you in?
PPR.
Kamara.
I'm duh. Him or McCaffrey would be my first pick. So
All right, what's your card? Are you beating
my
Jack?
card is. Let's see. Come on, big
4.
money, big money's no whammy. Stop. Oh,
Ace.
pulled up the ace.
That's fine. You know what? That's great because I wanted the second pick.
Really? Because I want
Yeah.
back-to-back picks. I'll take it. Okay, that works.
Good guy.
So,
All right, so
Chris, no,
You go
I get
first.
to go first.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
Okay.
going first,
In
yeah.
this type of draft, I'm okay going first, which is funny because I was joking around with Chris before the show when we were planning this that
Oh yeah.
the number one
Get
pick
ready
is
for this.
obvious unless it isn't. So obviously, with the first pick,
I mean, come on.
listen, there's one correct answer here.
There
Unfortunately,
is one correct answer.
which I'm interested to see more what your 2 picks are. But when you make the NBA Finals 8 times in a decade, you're on the All NBA team every year of a decade.
Well,
You win 2 MVPs and 3 championships. And the most improbable thing of all, win something for Cleveland, Ohio. You are
Oh, that's
the first pick in this draft. So
and don't associate with the geographical slander occurring on the show.
are
I'm
you a
not doing it.
Cleveland stand and we don't know it, Chris?
No, I just don't. I shamelessly alienate Salt Lake City on my podcast, but I don't think Cleveland's ever done anything to me, so I can't.
Oh, okay. I
I
just
can't. I hate
Cleveland
Salt
never
Lake
does that.
City. I hate Salt Lake City for having bad pizza and being able to let Jordan have the cover up that he had bad pizza and making people think that he was actually
gosh,
sick.
This has really gone off the rails already. All right, first pick is LeBron James.
First pick is LeBron James. Yes.
Not only All NBA team every year, All NBA first team 9 times. So pretty outstanding there. I am going to take the guy who I think Andrew at least gave a cursory thought to.
Mhm.
He did.
Would be my assumption, which is Kevin Durant.
Yes.
I think there's an argument there. I don't think it's a very good one. But I think you could argue that the gap between LeBron and KD is smaller than the gap between KD and whoever the third pick is, which I actually think the third pick is where it gets a little interesting. But of course, Chris has 2 in a row, so maybe not.
I will just
Wow.
say that it's actually very on brand that you took KD with the slander you were given when you put him in a certain top 10 all time
Listen,
a couple months ago, which I agree is defensible. Although there is a player that Chris could potentially take that I would I'll hear an argument for is higher than.
There's one other player that at least has an argument for being in the conversation for the top.
Can I just take Steph Curry already?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
This is how we podcast, Chris. You fill in the gaps. If we're just
Can I just take Steph?
Go ahead.
I was letting you guys talk him up because I'm gonna take him. So I was enjoying it.
This is where I think it actually gets quite interesting. As the ambulance goes by in preparation for the ginormous mistake Chris is about to make. I don't even know what he's going to
do. Never mind. I thought you had someone in mind. Okay. I'm gonna be annoying and ask another question. So
real quick, Steph Curry, 2-time MVP, arguably the greatest shooter of all time.
Yep.
Unanimous MVP, 3-time NBA champion this decade.
6 All NBAs.
Yes.
Yep.
Point per game leader once too. Scoring title.
Pretty good player.
And the NBA record threes in a season, 402.
I believe he's also the second place for NBA threes in a season, right? And the third place after last season.
He's hit a lot of threes. Let's just say.
There's a lot that have gone in.
So I have a feeling I know what the clarifying question is going to relate to, but ask it.
It's position. So like how?
Okay. Oh, I mean, it's just
so we're not. These teams aren't playing each other. They're not.
Yeah, but the team has to make
factoring
sense.
That. So I'm trying to make the best sense making basketball.
You're not taking 5 guards. You're not taking 5 centers.
No. That makes sense. All right.
Okay.
This is tough. It's tough because there's 2 people I'm stuck between. Not Russell Westbrook, but that's no. Man, oh man.
It gets interesting.
I think I'm gonna be. I want to be bold. I'm thinking about it. 2 chips.
This is your second pick, and you're struggling.
I know. It's. I love this. This is fantastic.
It's like do we value the stats? Do we value? No, I'm going to stay true. I'm going to stay true to myself. Ignore stats and go with winning, and take Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's certainly defensible.
That's who I would have taken at the 4th pick if I had Chris's picks. Yeah,
that's very interesting.